Femi met Sade in a small cafe on the mainland. She wore dark glasses and red lipstick. "Why are we meeting here?" she asked, irritated. Femi looked tired. "Ada is getting suspicious. She's smarter than I thought." Sade frowned. "Then do what you need to do. We didn't come this far to fail. You promised me we will share the money. You said it would be easy." Femi leaned in. "It's not as simple as I thought. She's careful. The inheritance is under legal control." Sade scoffed. "So? Charm her, confuse her, do something. Don't forget, I help you plan everything. I posed as your cousin when we met her family. I deserve my share." Femi nodded. "I'll handle it. Just give me time." But as they talked, someone across the cafe took pictures with a phone. It was Titi's contact, a private investigator. Ada stood in front of the mirror, her white wedding gown sparkling under the soft lights of the bridal suit. Her heart was filled of joy and hope. At 28, she believed she had found the love of her life. Femi, tall and handsome, had swept her off her feet with sweet words, quiet strength, and a smile that could melt any heart. They had dated for 1 year before he proposed at a fancy rooftop restaurant in Victoria Island. Ada cried happy tears, not knowing the life she was about to step into. Her best friend, Titi, helped her adjust her veil. "You look beautiful," Titi said, though her voice didn't sound as excited as usual. She had always liked Femi, but thought things were moving too fast. Still, she kept her doubts to herself. Ada had made her choice, and today was a big day. The music began to play, and Ada walked down the aisle with her father. Her eyes locked on Femi, who stood at the altar, smiling wide. He looked perfect, the perfect husband. As the priest said the vows, Femi held Ada's hands tightly. "I promise to love you, protect you, and cherish you all the days of my life," he said. Ada repeated the same. Everyone clapped when they kissed. After the ceremony, they danced and laughed at the reception, surrounded by friends and family. Ada's heart was at peace. She had no idea that this perfect moment was the beginning of a carefully planned lie, a game she wasn't aware she had entered. Femi and Ada flew to Zanzibar for their honeymoon. The island was beautiful, blue water, white sand, and peaks everywhere. Ada couldn't stop smiling. She felt lucky. Every morning, Femi brought her breakfast in bed. They laughed, swam, and took pictures. "You make me happy," Femi whispered one night as they sat under the stars. Ada leaned her head on his shoulder. "I want our life to always be like this." But sometimes, Femi would go quiet and step away to make calls. He would speak in low tones and end the calls quickly if Ada came near. When she asked who he was talking to, he would smile. "Just business," he said. "You know, I'm trying to set up something solid for us." Ada didn't push. She believed him. She trusted him. Back in their hotel room, Femi sometimes stared at her laptop when she was not looking. He had watched her enter her password a few times. Now, he was trying to remember it. One night, after Ada fell asleep, Femi opened the laptop. He guessed the password. It worked. A smile spread across his face. He searched for a file named Will. There it was, the document that mentioned her inheritance from her late grandfather. Millions. Femi read it twice. His heart raced. He got up quietly, went to the balcony and called someone. "She doesn't know yet," he said softly. "Everything is still in place. I will get access to the money soon." He smiled again, but this time, it wasn't the smile of a loving husband. Back in Lagos, Ada and Femi moved into Ada's family house in Lekki. It was a large compound with tall gates and quiet beauty. Her late grandfather had left it for her. Her parents lived abroad, so the house was empty except for the staff. Femi acted like a perfect husband. He helped around the house, made dinner plans, and told her that how much he loved her, but his eyes always wandered when he saw the home office. He wanted full access to everything, her bank account, her documents, and her trust fund. But Ada was careful. Her grandfather had taught her to keep things private. She managed her inheritance through her lawyer, Mr. Okoro. Only she had full access. "Why don't you let me help you with your finances?" Femi asked one day. "We are married now. Everything that is yours is mine too." Ada laughed. "Maybe later. I still handle things myself for now." Femi nodded. but inside, he was angry. He called the same mysterious number again. "She's not letting go easily," he said. "But I'll keep trying. Be patient." The voice on the other end warned him. "You better get it fast done. Don't forget why you married her." Meanwhile, Titi visited Ada one afternoon. They sat in the garden sipping zobo. "Are you happy, Ada?" Titi suddenly asked. Ada smiled. "Yes, Femi is kind, helpful and sweet. I'm really lucky." Titi nodded, but still felt uneasy. She had seen Femi once in Surulere, talking to a woman in a strange way. She didn't say anything yet, but she made up her mind to start watching Femi closely. One evening, Femi came home looking worried. "Ada," he said, "I just got bad news. My younger sister is very sick in Ibadan. I need to go see her." Ada was concerned. "Oh no, what happened?" She explained that she had a serious condition and needed money for surgery. "I've already sent what I have, but it's not enough," he added. "She might die." Ada felt sad. "We should help her," she said. "I can transfer for money tomorrow." Femi smiled faintly. "Thank you, my love. You are an angel." That night, Ada made the transfer to account Femi provided. He thanked her many times and kissed her forehead. The next day, Ada called Titi and mentioned the situation. "Did you know Femi has a younger sister?" Titi was silent for a moment. "He told me he only has an older brother. Are you sure?" Ada frowned. "Yes. He says she's in Ibadan." Titi shook her head. "Something is off. You need to be careful." Ada tried not to panic. Maybe she had misunderstood. But that night, when Femi left the room, she checked the bank account details. The name on the account was not Femi's sister. It was a man's name. She quickly took a screenshot. Her heart beat fast. Why had he lied? She waited until morning and asked again, "What's your sister's name again?" Femi answered quickly, "Ronke." Ada smiled calmly. She didn't mention the screenshot. Something in her heart shifted. A small voice whispered, "Something is wrong." She decided to keep smiling, but now she was watching him too. Titi couldn't rest after her visit. Her instinct told her Femi was hiding something. She remembered the strange woman she had saw him with months ago. That woman wasn't his sister. Titi decided to find out the truth. She called a friend who worked with a private investigation firm. "Can you check out someone for me?" she asked. She gave them Femi's name, phone number and pictures. "Just find out if he has any secret, marriage records, girlfriends, strange business deals, anything." A week later, Titi got the result. The report shocked her. Femi had been married before. It ended quietly, and there was a note about fraud and lies. He had scammed the woman he married. Even worse, he was still in contact with a woman named Shade, a woman who had helped him in the past. The same woman Titi saw him with in Surulere. Titi gasped. He's doing it again. She knew she had to tell Ada, but how? Would Ada believe her? Meanwhile, Ada continued acting normal at home. She was gentle, smiling and supportive, but she had started reading through old messages, old photos and receipts. Something didn't sit right. She began saving every lie Femi told. Her laptop became her silent witness. She called her lawyer, Mr. Okoro, and asked a strange question. "If I wanted to protect my inheritance from my husband, what steps can I take legally?" Mr. Okoro was confused, but gave her advice. Just in case, Ada said, marriage can be surprising sometimes. Femi met Shade in a small cafe on the mainland. She wore dark glasses and red lipstick. "Why are we meeting here?" she asked, irritated. Femi looked tired. "Ada is getting suspicious. She's smarter than I thought." Shade frowned. "Then do what you need to do. We didn't come this far to fail. You promised me we will share the money. You said it would be easy." Femi leaned in. "It's not as simple as I thought. She's careful. The inheritance is under legal control." Shade scoffed. "So? Charm her, confuse her, do something. Don't forget, I helped you plan everything. I posed as your cousin when we met her family. I deserve my share." Femi nodded. "I'll handle it. Just give me time." But as they talked, someone across the cafe took pictures with a phone. It was Titi's contact, the private investigator. Later that evening, Titi received the photos. She didn't wait. She drove straight to Ada's house. Ada welcomed her with a smile. "You came without calling." Titi handed the envelope to her. "You need to see this." I couldn't keep quiet anymore. Ada opened it and saw the photos of Femi and Sade together, laughing, whispering, holding hands. Ada's hands shook, but her face stayed calm. "Thank you," she whispered. That night, she didn't cry. She sat on her bed and stared at the ceiling. "You chose the wrong woman to deceive," she said quietly. "The game has changed." Ada stayed quiet after seeing the photos. She didn't tell Femi what she had found. Instead, she decided to play her own game. She knew if she showed her anger too early, he would find a way to cover his tracks. She needed proof, strong proof. She called Mr. Okoro and asked for a private meeting. "I want you to change the structure of my inheritance," she said. "Move everything into a new trust that only I can control. Make sure it's legally protected. No joint access, even as a married woman." Mr. Okoro looked surprised. "Are you in danger?" Ada smiled calmly. "Not yet, but I want to be safe." At home, she began asking even more lovely. "You are working so hard, Femi," she said one night. "You should let me treat you to dinner." Femi grinned. "I know I married the best woman." Inside, he felt more confident. He thought Ada had no clue. But Ada was watching everything. Every late night call, every visit outside the island, every strange excuse. She hired a second investigator, one Femi could never suspect. His job, follow Femi everywhere. Meanwhile, Femi believed he was winning. Soon, he told Ade, she would trust me enough to hand over the document. Sade wasn't so sure. "Be careful. Many women are not as stupid as they look." Femi laughed. "She's rich, gentle and emotional. That's the perfect target." He didn't notice that someone was recording his voice from the next table. The second investigator Ada hired was a quiet man named Kunle. He was smart and moved like a shadow. After only 4 days, he sent Ada an audio file. "You need to hear this." His message read. Ada sat in her home office, plugged in her earphones and pressed play. Femi's voice came through clearly. "Just wait. She will give me access soon. Once I get the document, we will disappear. I'll transfer everything to our new account." Then Sade's voice. "I hope she doesn't catch on." Femi laughed. "She's clueless." Ada's heart turned to stone. The evidence was real. She saved the file and backed it up in 3 different places. Her laptop, a flash drive, and the cloud. She took a deep breath. "Now, the real game begins," she whispered. She called Mr. Okoro again. "I want to write a new will," she said. "One that changes everything. My husband should get nothing if anything happens to me." Mr. Okoro hesitated. "That's serious." Ada nodded. "Yes, so am I." Femi came home later that night holding flowers. "Surprise," he said. Ada smiled and took them. "You are so sweet." She acted soft, even kissed him on the cheek, but inside, she saw a stranger, a liar, a user. Later that night, she watched him sleep. "I trusted you," she whispered, "but you played the wrong woman." Ada decided to test Femi. She created a fake email account using a different name and wrote a message pretending to be a lawyer offering help with transferring wealth from a suspicious wife. She wanted to see how far Femi would go. Within 2 hours, Femi replied to the fake email. "I'm interested," he wrote. "I have someone I need to get around. She has a large inheritance and I want to protect myself legally when I take over. Can we meet?" Ada read his reply with wide eyes. He didn't even hesitate. She sent another email asking for details. Femi replied again, saying, "She's rich, too trusting. I just need her to sign one document, then it's done." Ada now have everything she needed: screenshots, audios, emails. She felt her body shake, but it wasn't fear, it was power. She called Kunle and gave him a new task. "I want to know where Femi and Sade meet. I want to catch them together." Kunle followed Femi again. The next night, he sent Ada a video. Femi and Ade in a hotel, laughing like lovers. They kissed at the entrance. "Got them," Kunle tested. Ada didn't cry, she didn't scream. She simply saved the video and opened a new folder on her computer titled Revenge. Titi came over again, and Ada finally told her everything. She played the audio, showed the email replies, and even the video. Titi's jaw dropped. "This man is a demon," she shouted. "We have to expose him." Ada nodded. "Not yet. I want to hurt him legally, not emotionally. Let him think he's winning." Titi's eyes narrowed. "You are serious?" Ada nodded, very serious.
I moved all my assets out of reach, Ada explained. Now I want him to try and take what no longer exists. Titi smiled. You are dangerous. Ada laughed softly. He started this game, and I will finish it. Titi helped Ada come up with a final trap. Tell him your lawyer is ready to help both of you open a joint trust fund, she suggested. Let him bring out his greed in front of someone he thinks is working for him. Ada loved the idea. Let's see if he takes the bait. That night, Ada made dinner. She wore red lipstick and cooked Femi's favorite jollof rice and fried goat meat. He walked in, surprised and happy. Wow, what's the occasion? I've been thinking, Ada said. Maybe it's time we plan our future properly together. My lawyer said we can start a joint trust fund. Femi's eyes lit up. Really? He asked, trying to hide his excitement. That sounds perfect. Ada smiled, raising her glass. To our future, she said. Femi cleaned glasses with her. He had no idea he was walking into his own trap. Ada called Mr. Okoro and told him her plan. I want to act like I'm trusting him again, but we are really setting him up. Mr. Okoro agreed. We will arrange a fake meeting where he thinks he's signing something to get access, but in truth, he will be signing nothing, and we will record everything. They set a date, and Ada told Femi, my lawyer is ready to meet us. He wants to guide us through the process. Femi pretended to act surprised. That's fast, he said. Boy, yes, let's go. The day came. They dressed in formal clothes and drove to the lawyer's office. Femi was smiling the whole way. You are really amazing, he said. I knew you understand. At the office, Mr. Okoro welcomed them. Let's begin, he said politely. Ada played her role perfectly. Femi will be signing as co-owner. He deserves everything I have. Femi beamed. That means a lot, he said, as he leaned over to sign. What he didn't know, Kunle was in the next room, recording both audio and video, and the document Femi signed, it was a fake with zero legal power. After the meeting, Ada kissed Femi's cheek. We've taken the next big step, she whispered. Femi grinned. Finally. But as they walked to the car, Ada looked up at the sky and smiled. It's almost time, she whispered. You'll see what a real game looks like. Ada became even more affectionate at home. She cooked, laughed, and gave Femi soft kisses in the morning. You've changed, he said one night. You are more loving. Ada smiled. I just feel safer now, like we are finally building something together. Femi took the award as a sign. She's falling completely, he told Sadu over the phone. Soon, I'll move the rest of the funds. But Ada had already removed every single asset from Femi's switch. Her house was now under a company name she secretly owned. Her account had no more inheritance money. It had all been moved. What remained in her joint account was bait. Ada met with Titi and Kule at a quiet cafe. He's preparing for the final move, she told them. We must be ready. Kule handed her a small USB. This is everything. Audio, video, emails, photos, all in one place. Titi asked, are you going to the police? Not yet, Ada said. I want him to hang himself with his own lies. That weekend, Ada told Femi they should host a small dinner for close friends. To celebrate our trust fund, she said. Femi agreed quickly. That's a great idea, he said, thinking she had truly accepted him. But Ada had other plans for that dinner. Ada planned the dinner carefully. She invited Mr. Okoro, Titi, Kule, who pretended to be a friend from law school, and a few trusted friends. She told Femi, let's dress our best. This is the start of a new chapter. Femi wore a black suit, looking sharp. Ada wore a gold gown that made her look like royalty. The house was lit with soft lights and the smell of grilled fish filled the air. During dinner, Femi gave a short speech. I'm grateful for a wife like Ada, he said. She believes in building a future with me. Everyone clapped. Ada stood and smiled. I'm glad Femi feels this way, and to show how much I trust him, I've made something special. She brought out a folder and handed it to Mr. Okoro. These are the new updates to my trust fund. I want our guests to witness how serious I am. Femi's eyes widened. This wasn't part of the plan. He leaned closer to Ada. What is this? He whispered. Ada smiled calmly. It's our future in writing. Mr. Okoro cleared his throat. In fact, let me read it out. Some parts of it anyway. Femi started to sweat. Mr. Okoro opened the folder and began reading. This document protects the inheritance of Adoka Afo. In the event of betrayal, manipulation, or criminal deception by any party, including her husband, all assets will remain hers alone, with legal action taken if necessary. The room went quiet. Femi stared at Ada confused. What is this? Ada took a deep breath and said, It's the truth and the end of your game. She walked to the TV and pressed play. The video from the hotel, Femi and Sade kissing, played. The next video showed him at a bar talking about using Ada. The voice recording began. She is clueless. She will give me everything soon. Femi jumped up. What is this? Who did this? Kunle stood. I did. I'm a private investigator. Everything has been documented. Femi's face turned pale. Guests began whispering. Titi crossed her arms and said, I warned her, but you thought she was a fool. Ada walked up to him slowly. You thought I was soft. You thought you were smarter. But I was watching you all along. Femi looked around the room. The walls felt like they were closing in. Without saying a word, Femi rushed out of the house. Ada didn't stop him. She just turned off the TV and faced her guests. Thank you for witnessing this. Now the real battle begins. Titi hugged her tightly. You were brilliant. Mr. Okoro nodded. Now we take the legal action. The next morning, Femi didn't return. His phone was off. Ada reported everything to the police and handed over the recordings. He tried to scam me out of millions, she said. He was planning to disappear. The police opened an investigation. Kunle gave his evidence. The officers promised to track Femi. Meanwhile, Ada also contacted her bank. Lock all joint assets. Freeze every movement. I want no transaction allowed from his side. Femi had gone to a cheap hotel in the mainland. He was panicking. He called Shade. It is over. She knew everything. She recorded me. Shade was furious. How could you be so careless? She set a trap, Femi groaned, and I walked right into it. The police began searching for Femi. Ada also used private agents to search hotels, airports, and travel companies. He may try to leave Nigeria, she warned them. Shade went into hiding too. She deleted all her social media accounts and stopped answering Femi's call. I can't go to prison because of you, she tested. Femi felt alone. He changed his looks, shaved his beard, and wore dark glasses. But money was running out. He had no access to Ada's account, and the little money he had was disappearing fast. He tried to contact his cousin in Ghana. I need a place to stay, he begged. But the cousin had seen the news online. Ada had gone public with the story. Scammer husband tries to steal wife inheritance. The headline read, Femi's face was on every blog. No bro, the cousin said. I can't help you. Ada stayed strong. She went to work every day, smiled for the cameras, and gave an interview on TV. Women must protect their assets, she said. Love is not a license to steal. The public supported her. Messages poured in. You are a queen. Thank you for teaching us. You turned pain into power. But Ada wasn't done yet. He's still out there, she said, and I won't stop until he is in handcuffs. One day, Ada received a message on her Instagram from an unknown woman. Hello, I think I saw your husband 2 days ago. He was hiding in an old friend's apartment near Ikorodu. Ada quickly responded, Can you describe him? The woman replied with a photo. It was Femi, Tina, with a beard again, but still. Thank you, Ada said. You've helped more than you know. She passed the location to the police and Kunle. They moved fast, but Femi had already left the apartment. He felt the pressure. Every time he walked outside, he felt being recognized. He called Ada. Please, can we talk? She didn't answer. She sent the call recording to the police. The next day, she got another message from the same woman. He came back last night. Ada forwarded it immediately. I want him caught alive, she told the police. He must answer for everything. Early the next morning, police raided the apartment in Ikorodu. Femi was sleeping on the floor when he heard the knock. He tried to escape through the back window, but it was too late. Freeze! Shouted one officer. Femi stopped, hands in the air. He was dragged out, handcuffed, and thrown into the police van. His eyes were red, his lips were dry. I didn't kill anyone, he mumbled. You tried to destroy someone's life, police officer said. That's enough. News spread quickly. Femi, the inheritance fraud husband, has been arrested. At the station, Ada called in to give her full statement. She walked in with her head high and a lawyer by her side. When she saw Femi in the cell, she didn't flinch. He whispered, I loved you, Ada. She smiled sadly. No, Femi, you loved money. And now, you'll see what greed really cost. Femi was charged with fraud, attempted theft, and conspiracy. The court hearing began 2 weeks later. The courtroom was full. Journalists waited outside. Ada wore a simple blue dress and kept her eyes calm. The judge listened to Mr. Okoro and coolly presented the evidence: audio, video, emails. Shade was also called, but she refused to appear. The court issued a warrant for her arrest too. Femi stood in the dock, silent. His lawyer tried to claim it was a misunderstanding. My client was confused. He truly loved his wife. But Ada's lawyer rose and replied, "Love doesn't lie. Love does not plan robbery. This was a careful, selfish plan to steal." The judge nodded. "We will continue the trial next week. For now, the accused remains in custody." Outside the courtroom, Ada spoke to reporters. "This isn't just about me. It's about every woman who has been tricked, used, or betrayed. We must speak up." Days before the next hearing, Femi broke down in his cell. He wrote a confession letter, 5 pages long. In it, he admitted to planning the scam with Shade, to pretending to love Ada, and to preparing to flee the country with stolen funds. The letter reached Ada's lawyer. "He's finally telling the truth," the lawyer said. Ada read the letter but didn't cry. She just folded it and placed it in a drawer. The next court session was short. Femi's lawyer presented the confession. The judge sighed. "We will set sentences for next month." Femi was taken away. Ada remained seated long after the room emptied. She whispered, "Game over."